Okay, hello folks. We are going to talk about transformations of functions this week. Last week we talked about parent functions, and a parent function is when a function is stripped down to everything but the actual function. A transformation would be when you have numbers added on. Okay, so rigid transformations are when you have shifts or reflections. A shift could be moving the whole function up, down, to the left or right. A reflection would be reflecting about either the x-axis, the y-axis, a point. A non-rigid transformation would be any stretch or shrink that elongates the function or flattens out the function. So you probably want to take some notes here. A vertical and horizontal shift occurs when you add a number onto the function itself. So for example, say I have f of x, oh gracious, there we go, f of x, my pen is bad, equals the parabola x squared. But if I add 3 to it, that's going to take the original parabola that would normally be, that is such bad writing, sorry about that, would normally look like that and move it up 3 spots. So adding 3 moves it up. So this would be up C. This would be down C. And then I'm going to write the word units. Oy, bad. And then if it's within the function, so for example, if I have f of x equals, and then I have x minus c inside, then squared, then negative actually moves it left c units, and adding a number, positive number, makes it move right c units. That looks like all one word. I didn't mean to do that. Not sure what's wrong with me tonight, folks. Reflection would be if you have a negative in front. So if I have f of x equals negative x squared, it's going to reflect about the x-axis. So my graph that has a parabola opening up would now open down. A negative within would be about the y-axis. So let's do a different function. If I have, say, the square root function, and I put a negative inside, it's going to move it about the y-axis. So my graph that would originally be like this, if I reflect it about the y-axis, it's now going to be over here. A stretch or shrink causes a distortion in the graph. A number multiplied in the front, a coefficient in front that's greater than 1 would stretch the graph vertically or shrink it horizontally. If the number is between 0 and 1, so a fraction or decimal between 0 and 1, the graph would shrink vertically or stretch horizontally. Okay, so if you think about a regular parabola, if I elongate it like that, that would be a stretch vertically, but it also would be a shrink horizontally, so it shrinks it in or stretches it out. All right, so let's just take the x squared function, and if you're going to describe what the transformation is doing. So in number 1, it's moving the whole function up 2 units. Number 2 would be moving the function to the right 2 units. Whoops. A negative in front would be an x-axis reflection. And then for number 4, there's 2 transformations. The negative within would be a y-axis reflection. And then the negative 4 afterwards would be down 4 units. All right, so in Delta Math, you're going to be given a graph, and then you're going to be given 4 options, and you're going to need to pick the option that matches the transformation. So we start with square root of x. You can see that this has been reflected about the x-axis, and then it's been moved 2 units to the right. And what you can do with these is keep your graphing calculator right there and plug those in and see which matches the dashed graph. Okay, so since it moved 2 units to the right, and was reflected about the x-axis, the answer is going to be here because of this negative in front and the x minus 2 under the radical. Okay, so here I have an absolute value function, but this is just giving you the answer in terms of f of x. So it's not even telling you that it's absolute value, but you should recognize that this is an absolute value function. And it's taking the original function and it's moving it, let's count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the left. Okay, so 5 to the left is going to be a plus 5 within the function. And then it's moving it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. So if I draw a line, it's 5 to the left and then 5 up. And so 5 to the left is going to be plus 5 and 5 up is also going to be plus 5. So it has to be that function. Look at one more. Here, we don't even know what function this is. Oh, I'm wondering if oh yeah, it is down there. But it doesn't matter because you can see that it's reflected about the y-axis. So it's a y-axis reflection. And then it's also shifted down 3 units. And actually, it's shifted down 1, 2, 3, 4 units. So sorry, that was not correct. So it's shifted down 4 and a y-axis reflection. A y-axis within the function, so f of negative x, and then down 4 is going to be a minus 4 afterwards, so it has to be that one. All right, so there's actually going to be 2 assignments where you're looking at these graphs and describing what's happening, but it's all going to be multiple choice. So on Delta Math, there's transformations assignment and then more transformations. And really, I think this is going to be a walk in the park, people, because it's all multiple choice. So reach out if you have questions.